Hey, what's up? We are back with Alyssa Orange. More of the report cards for Arkansas mid-season to the defensive line.
Giving out the grades. Okay, this group, like my running backs, favorite group, not just on the defensive side of the ball, though, on the entire team. I absolutely love the way that Armand Watts has flourished this season. I think that that's been a big addition to that front four. I like Randy Ramsey. I like Sosa Agim, the D-line. 7 sacks on the season. They're getting good pressure up front. However, I think they got a little exposed against Alabama in the Tide's run game. So we'll see if they can kind of make those holes a little less small, big, less big, little less big, I guess, as the season progresses. And, you know, for me, I give these guys an A-. It's the only A that I'm going to give out today.
Really?
Yeah.
You're up in the A range. I'm going to go with a B on this one. Yeah, D-line, really like it. I love Steve Caldwell, doing a great job with defensive ends and the tackles as well. You've got John Scott Jr. working with those guys. I like the rotations, doing a nice job. Yesterday, you know, take it with a grain of salt against Alabama. Saw some great things. They're swarming the football, swarming the guys. The quarterbacks, that is. And we saw some good things against A&M. So, again, I'll go with a B there. Linebackers.
All right. The linebackers, I don't think it's a secret that both Dre Greenlaw and Scooter Harris on the field makes that unit better. They basically are the linebackers out there when they're playing nickel. So Harris leads the team in tackles to 64 this season. He'll surpass his total from a year ago, I believe. That was 110 a year ago. Greenlaw has just 44, but that's still third on the team in tackles. I like the new role with John Chavis and the pressure these linebackers are able to contribute. They've always been good, these two guys. Obviously, some of the best in the SEC. I think the middle of the field was exposed again a little bit as we talk about this Alabama game, being able to kind of get those 10, 15-yard pass plays. So I'd like to tighten up that area a little bit, but they get a B- from me.
It is what it is. It's Alabama you're talking about yesterday.
Right.
But
again, yeah, it's hard to give out grades after you play against Alabama, but I think that it was very telling where that team is.
I'm going to go with a B- again. Glass half full. Bumper Pool had to play a lot. True freshman. Of course, he arrived here in the spring, so we had a little more as far as the reps there given out in the place of Dre Greenlaw being hurt. But again, Greenlaw and Scooter making that linebacking core go. And, you know, Hayden Henry, even in the situations where they've actually gone to the solid 4-3 away from the nickel package, Hayden's done a few good things as well, a linebacker. But the depth looks a little bit better there, so that's my grade. As for the secondary.
Okay, all right. Tackling, something that these guys need to continue to work on. Wrapping up, I'm over the shoulder tackles. Santos, Ramirez, looking at you. You hurt your shoulder a little bit the other day. It's because you're pushing everybody with your shoulder. You need to wrap them up. Get a little bit better on the tackling. They still got a lot to go there, but we're seeing some good things. I know these guys play hard, but sometimes, Drew, I think they play almost too hard, and then they break down in the secondary and can almost like exert themselves, if that makes a little bit more sense, and because they kind of lose a little bit of their fundamentals when they're trying a little too hard. They don't have a lot of speed. You saw that against Alabama, and we'll perhaps see that next week with Ole Miss and their passing attack, so that will be interesting. But up until now, this group, only 1 interception, and that's by Ryan Pulley. The other 2 interceptions on the team are by Dre Greenlaw, so I'd like to see more takeaways there. They get a C from me.
I like what you're saying right there as far as the takeaways, and they got to get them. C- for the secondary. This is a group even in recent years. You got to go back to 2016, 17, where you thought it would be much improved, but again, a lot of turnover right now. Kevin Callaway no longer with the program, so to speak. You know, they would welcome him back, but he's had those issues, so he's been away from the team. Again, you look at Jarquez McClellion, redshirt freshman, trying to learn from Ryan Pulley. K-Rich is trying to really guide a lot of these guys. That's where the secondary is right now. All right, when you look at the punting, okay.
Yeah, you know, it's bad, Drew. You know, it's not good at all. Reed Bauer, forgive him, but averaging just 38.2 yards per punt. As a team, they're averaging just 36 yards per punt between Bauer and Johnson and Phillips, and that's 120th in the country out of 130 teams. That's 13th in the SEC. Alabama's only worst. Problem is they don't punt a lot. So that's a little skewed there, that average. Arkansas has the most punts of any SEC team, and that's 39 this year. So I don't know how you get that number to be better. Obviously, you got to go out and get someone with a stronger leg. Right now, I don't see much improvement overall from the punt game. They get an F from me. It's just not very good.
I think F is probably about right. I'm going to say D- just to be nice.
Oh, there you go. That's very nice.
You know, and here's the bottom line. Reed Bauer, in his position in terms of the class that he's in, did some good things against the Texas A&M, and Chad Morris has pointed those things out. But Blake Johnson, where the heck are you?
Yeah.
He was highly touted.
Yeah.
And that's the guy I thought they'd roll with at the beginning of the season. Just to look at it personnel-wise, that upsets me.
Yeah.
That Reed Bauer has been sort of, you know, thrust into that situation, but even though he hasn't really performed all that well collectively, has had some bright spots. So I'll say D-, I guess, when you wrap it up. Hog kicker Connor Limpert now.
All right, I give Limpert some love. He's
Okay.
made 8 of his 11 field goals this season. He's 7th in the SEC, and he leads the team in scoring with 42 points. So we got to give him a little bit of love. He's had a long field goal this year of 54 points, of course, or 54 yards. That came against Colorado State. I
Yep.
give him a B. It's average. It can be better, and it has been better than a season ago. But I think Connor Limpert, you got to give him some love because that kicking game struggled so much last year that he's definitely making improvement.
You know, I'm going to go with a B- on this one. You're right. And, you know, last year, 8 out of 9 should have been Cole Hedlund's job throughout, and then he screwed up in week 2. Now he's at North Texas, but Connor Limpert came on at the end of last year, looked really consistent, doing some good things this year.
Yeah.
One thing that bothers me about Connor Limpert is that he needs to kick the ball out of the end zone more. You know, on the
Right.
kickoffs, you've got to, you know, create more touchbacks. Because you're seeing what they're doing now. They did some things yesterday. They're modifying. They're kicking it shorter. Maybe because of that fact.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also just personnel-wise. You look at who's on the field, and you got to be in your lanes. But that bothers me. Go out and get a kicker who can actually kick it out of the end zone.
Exactly.
Because so many opponents of Arkansas have been able to do that. All right, coming up, of course, with Bama here, a lot of recruits here. We'll get Otis Kirk's report coming up, and also later in the show, get this, we'll visit with 2 Patriots, Dietrich Wise Jr. and Trey Flowers, former Hogs. Terry Talmadge has that report, so stay with us.